Hey everyone, we're here today to review the track and field spikes for the upcoming 2021 outdoor track and field season. First, what we'll do is we'll go over what makes up a track spike and why you may want to consider investing in one for your racing and some training. And then we'll break down the different areas and what different options we offer here at NRC. So first off, the idea of a spike is all about wearing something very minimal and very lightweight as opposed to our trainers. So spikes have almost no cushion to no cushion to them. They're super lightweight and they're going to help us with our grip and getting up on our toes and running faster. That second part of what I said, the getting on our toes and the grip, comes down to, from the name, the actual spikes, the implements that we put into the shoe. For the outdoor season, most will be looking for a 1/4 inch spike for the running, and sometimes we wear different ones for the field events. The nice thing is most of the shoes do come already set with a baggie with a spike wrench and then spikes to put in the shoe. The number of spikes will vary depending on the shoe and the event area, depending on how much that event gets us on our toes and how quickly we're running in the event. Overall, our spikes are broken down into several categories because there's so many different races in track. And then we didn't forget about the field athletes, as they have their specific shoes as well. The main thing to think about when thinking about a spike is you just want to be lightweight, you want to be fast, and you still want it to feel relatively comfortable. So they're really important to still come in and try on your feet. Here at NRC this year, we'll have options from Nike, New Balance, and Under Armour, and you will be able to find them at all 3 of our stores. Now let's get into the individual event areas, starting with the distance spikes. When we look at the distance spikes, we're going to look for spikes that are built for any event from the 800 on up. So if you're a high school athlete, that means 800, mile, 2 mile, the 4x8, and then college, we add in events like the 3K, the 5K, the steeplechase. Those events where we could use just a little bit more shoe because we're running a little bit longer than the sprinting events. So what makes a distance spike different than our other options on the wall will be that, one, it's got just a little bit more cushion, less than our trainers, but still have some cushion to give some support. And then they won't be as aggressively turned onto the toe. You still will be able to get up on those toes and run fast, but you won't necessarily be all on the toes like the other events. The idea with that being that when we're running our distance events, especially the longer ones like the 2 mile, the 3K, the 5K, we are still running up on our toes, but we're still running a little bit more similar to our normal running gait. Distance spikes, depending on the kind and the brand, have a little less in terms of the number of implements that could put into the shoe. A distance spike, it should be lightweight, fast, and it should make you feel very comfortable. You have to come and definitely try these on and know that they're going to fit and feel a little bit different than our trainers. Now, one question we get a lot of times is, what if I'm someone that wears a more supportive shoe, or I'm someone that maybe wears some type of insert in my trainers? What should I do with spikes? With spikes in terms of distance runners, we don't need to worry about that as much because we're running for a shorter period of time, and typically when we're running faster, we tend to run more efficiently. But if you are someone that wants a little bit more support in their distance spike, the nice thing is we still have some cross-country options from the previous year, and a cross-country shoe could be used for track as long as we change out those implements to the 1/4 inch. That cross-country spike will give us a little bit more support and a little bit more cushion. So when it comes to the distance runners, you can either come in and get something new to lace up for the track season, or if you've got a good spike from cross-country, we can just change those implements and put those in here. Moving on, our next event when it comes to the spikes and events in track, we look at the middle distance runners. So those are those runners that like to run really fast, but like to hold it just a little bit longer as well. So these shoes are going to be built for someone running the 400, the 800, the 4x8, and maybe even up to the mile or 1500, depending on the person and how their form works with the shoes. Now we know about spikes already, but now what's going to make the middle distance spike different than the distance spike? And it's come down to 3 things. First, they're typically a little less cushioned. Second, you have usually more spike implements. And third, and most importantly, they're going to get us a little more up on our toes as we're running for a shorter period of time and running even faster. Middle distance spikes are great if you're someone who likes to do a little bit of everything, because they're light enough and fast enough to run that 400, but you can also wear them for the mile and get enough support. Middle distance spikes should be nice and lightweight, and they should be going to someone that's planning on running up on their toes and running those events that are right in the middle range of where the track offers. Next, we'll talk about the sprint spikes. So obviously these are going to be for our sprinters. Sprint spikes can be used for any event from the 55 up to the 400, and for some people even the 800, but if you're running that 8, you might want to consider that middle distance spike. So what makes a sprint spike different? First off, almost no cushion, and especially almost nothing in the heel, as we're really going to be up on our toes when we're running quick, we're running really fast, we need to get that power from the forefoot. With that, you'll see that the spike plate in a sprint shoe will run the length of the shoe and be a little firmer than some of the distance spikes, and you'll have even more of the implements built in. Sprint shoes are all about getting the lightest weight shoe we can get on our feet and getting up all on our toes so we really can drop some fast times. Now, the nice thing about the sprint spikes is they also have some versatility in the jump events as well. If you're someone who's going to test out the jumps, or you do the jumps and the running events and you're not ready to get a specialized field shoe. Sprint spikes are going to be a little bit different when we try them on, because it's about being comfortable, but it's all about finding the one that fits our foot the best. And this is going to feel totally different than our trainers. So it's one that you definitely want to come in, try on in the store, and weigh our different options. Last but not least, we have our field event athletes. So we do here at NRC carry a few options that are specialized shoes for certain event areas that you could maybe get away with using your trainers or a different kind of spike, but you might get your best performance by getting the specialized shoe. This year here at NRC, we'll have the specialized shoes for the throw events, the high jump, the pole vault, and the triple jump. And we carry those separately because they're all about the way the shoes function differently. For instance, I've got one of our throw shoes and there's no spikes in it. Throw shoes are all about getting good grip, but also being able to get a good rotation so that we can gain the force when we're making our throw and really get that thing flying in the air. Those other three that I talked about, I don't have in my hand, but they're built different because we need different types of cushion for those events. High jump, triple jump, and pole vault are more cushioned in the heel and a lot more number of implements in the forefoot, as we're going to really run up and really drive and plant. So if you're someone that is specifically just doing any of those events, it may be worth coming to look at the specialized shoe that will not only give us the best protection, but hopefully help us give our best performances. So to recap, spikes are all about getting a lighter weight, faster shoe that are going to help us perform at our best on race day. Whether you're someone who's brand new to track and never worn a spike, or you're some type of record holder, or any one of us in between, there's a different type of spike and shoe that's best for you, and the only way to find that is to come into one of our stores and try them on your feet. We have our track spikes located at all three of our NRC locations, and we've got everything ranging from a beginner to the latest and greatest. We also sometimes have previous year models from cross country or previous years of track, so it's worth coming in and just seeing what our selection will be. Whether you look on our online store for options, you come into the store to find what fits best. Here at NRC, our main thing is we want to wish you best of luck this track season.